When it comes to these Monster Inc. leaks, originally released on December 15th, 2017, with the original two images just showing off, what Sora will look like, the enemies in the world, would appear to be a mini boss and another unversed creature, with Mike Mazowski and, of course, Sora in a new design being showcased. Now we've gotten a lot more as of December 23rd, 2017. And what's interesting is that what a lot of fans are asking themselves right now is real or fake. Are you team real or are you team fake right now? And today I'm going to be trying to discuss this in a manner that is going to kind of vividly project my thoughts to you guys and kind of query you or get you to ask yourself whether or not you're team real or team fake once again. My personal thoughts for these leaks kind of go as far as what about these leaks make them stand out from, of course, just being something that anybody can make. When it came to what we got yesterday, or December 23rd, 2017, in case you're viewing this a little bit later, is why is it that some of these scans look like they come straight out of something official, such as a trailer, while other scans look like they come straight out of a fucking mobile game, a want to be 3D mobile game. And it's crazy to say that because the original leak had me so convinced that I was actually 80% real, 20% fake. But now I'm like 60% real, 40% fake. And that's a huge ass change because it went from 80 to 20 to 60 to 40. And the reason for that is that the original percentage when it comes to my thoughts that it was real was that everything about the original leaks just seemed so on point. Everything seemed like it was polished, everything seemed like it was up to that level of quality that you would expect from a project as big as Kingdom Hearts 3. And then we get to these leaks and you see images like this to where it seems like this game or this world just comes straight out of a fucking mobile game. You also don't see the same level of attention to detail as what we get to see in, per se, trailers from the game itself. Even earlier on, when we got trailers for stuff like, of course, before when it was on the other engine, it still looked better than what we're seeing here. And I know that this could always be a screenshot or a leak from an earlier build. This could be a screenshot from an unfinished build of the world. But even still, that much lack of polish is just crazy to me. Especially since we're at the point that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be releasing within the next 12 months. And even though we know that it will be releasing in 2018, I'm one of those people who believe it will definitely see store shelves before the end of third quarter 2018 at the very most. At the very most, it's going to be third quarter. I don't believe the game will be a holiday season game. I just don't see it being the case, just due to the fact that the game just simply seems like it's too far along for them to just expand it to or extend the release of the game to the holiday season when it's going to have to compete with Call of Duty, whatever EA bullshit is going to be coming out. Of course, I think it's going to be Anthem next year, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it will be Anthem next year, so it's going to have to compete with that. There's just going to be too much to compete with when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3. And yes, Kingdom Hearts has its own millions of fans, but that's a tangent I'll get on later in another video. But the thing about these leaks as well is that as more and more scans got released, or as I looked at more and more of the scans, I started to realize that there's some fatal flaws with like the character model, and that being that it lost a hell of a lot of detail compared to what we had before. What we had before was kind of a little bit more realistic, a little bit more flesh-like as far as how real Kingdom Hearts can get. Even though Sora has those really big proportions when it comes to his hands and feet, we still, even those seem fucked up because his hands seem like they're a little bit on the normal side, and maybe this is an adjustment because of the change to the character design or the character model, but I still just don't see that to be the case. Even Mike Mazowski, who we got to see in the original scan compared to later scans or later screenshots, still, once again, looks like the quality of Mike Mazowski, his character model, has just deplenished. It's like it gets worse with each one that I look at. And then we also have another portion of the stage to where it's everything is on fire and it just looks like it's all muddy, it's all murky. It doesn't look like they've paid any attention to any kind of detail. But that's just about all the negatives that I have on top of this one last one. And that's that it seems a little forced that the Unversed are in these leaks. And the reason why I say it seems a little forced is because we don't know if the Unversed will be some of the enemies in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, does it sound logical? Of course it sounds logical. We already know that the nobodies will be in the game. We know that Heartless will be in the game. So why wouldn't the Unversed be in the game? Plus, Sora has so many different options to work with. It's kind of like, yeah, they probably would go that extra mile and throw in the Unversed as enemies as well. But even though that's the case, I still feel like this is more so going to attribute towards it being fake, just because of the fact that we know that a lot of fans want the Unversed, but there's never been any official word on the Unversed. With I believe every time Tetsuya Nomura was ever asked a question, if it's I think it was like once or twice he was asked about the Unversed in Kingdom Hearts 3, and he said that I think both times there's nothing to say about the Unversed right now, or just that we'll simply have to find out later, or wait for later developments to find out about that. But I mean, going towards the game being real, going towards the world itself being real, the attention to detail in the official leaks once again was just spot on. Everything that you saw, from the reflections on the ground to, of course, the character models, just seemed like it was all there. Even the character model for that very first leak seemed like it was a little bit more accurate compared to what we got a little bit later, to where now it seems like he's all distorted. The maps seem like they come straight out of a fucking mobile game. My voice just cracked there, like it came straight out of a fucking mobile game. And it's like the quality of that very first leak had me at 80% real, 20% fake. But as more and more of these leaks came out, I'm at 60% real, 40% fake. And what's keeping me with a higher percentage of real rather than fake is the fact that we do get to see like the data entry for a lot of this stuff. We get to see like the coding for this world, the coding for like cutscenes and stuff like that. We get to see the coding for the language. We get to see the coding for, I guess, the movement and stuff like that. What the enemies will do with this section of the state, with the sections of the stages and stuff like that. And even then, with that first image, it's like even the Unversed mini boss, hell, even that looked kind of spot on to me. It looked exactly like what I would expect, or what we should expect from something official and something as big as Kingdom Hearts, something that they're pouring millions of dollars into, versus these other stages that look like they come straight out of a fucking mobile game, man. And it's sad to say that I feel this way, because a Monster Inc. world would be kind of cool. Another Pixar world is definitely welcomed, I believe, by any Kingdom Hearts fan, and that doesn't exclude me myself. So, a Monsters Inc. world would be cool. And I guess that's all of my thoughts on it. I would love to talk about it a lot more, and maybe I will one day do an analysis kind of video talking about everything that we get to see. But what's interesting to note, though, is that as far as what we did see, though, the game seems like it's going to be in 30 frames per second. If this is real, the game will run at 30 frames per second. Now, I don't know if this is like the cap they have while they're developing the game, because, of course, the original Xbox One and then of course the original PlayStation 4, they have to make sure those people can play it too. I now have a PlayStation 4 Pro, so maybe we'll be able to get 60 FPS, or dedicate a lot more of the system's hardware to the frame rate of the game, and we can get it up to 60 FPS with some type of graphical hits and stuff, such as textures and stuff like that, or draw distances. But 60 FPS was definitely something that I was expecting until, of course, zero point 0.2 was released. I felt like maybe zero point 0.2 was at 30 because I was just a little side project, but it seemed like no, 30 FPS will be the case for Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, at least, or Yeah, at least on the original two Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So let me know what you guys think about these leaks. What are you? Are you team real or are you team fake? This is being your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming and everything you do. Don't forget to keep it A-class. And I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Peace the heck out.